Good evening and welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville's regular council meeting for July 11th, 2023. Before we get started, I'm sad to report that the passing of former Councilman Mike Kelly this afternoon. Mike served on council here in Monroeville for years, and so I would like to, after the Pledge of Allegiance, if we could dedicate this moment of silence in his memory. So please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by that moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Could I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Grieslock?
Here.
Mr. Hizzy?
Here.
Mr. Poach? Mr. Stevenson?
Here.
Mr. Wolfram?
Present.
Mr. Adams?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Biondo?
Here.
Mr. Little?
Here.
Mr. Ratcher?
Here.
Ms. Rock?
Here.
Mr. Hugus?
Here.
Mr. Sedlak?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here.
Welcome. I'm going to open the floor for public comment on proposed agenda items only. This would be for comment period for only the items on the agenda. There will be another comment period at the end of the meeting for any municipal item. Seeing no one, we're going to close that comment period. I have an executive session announcement. The council conducted an executive session on Wednesday, June 21st, 2023, from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. with the Public Partners Consultant, and before Citizens Night on Thursday, July 6th, 2023, from 6:15 to 7 p.m. for personnel and litigation reasons. Council legislative action, if any, shall be taken at tonight's July 11th council meeting. Council, for your consideration are minutes from the following meetings: the Citizens Night meeting of June 6th, 2023, the council agenda setting meeting of June 6th, 2023, and the regular council meeting of June 13th, 2023. Is there a motion to?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Any questions, comments, or additions? Council, hearing none, there is a motion, a second to approve. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hizzy?
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Adams?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Biondo?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Reports of the tax collections. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Approve.
Motion to approve, correct, Mr. Wolfram?
Yes, it was. I'm sorry, you didn't hear me.
Any questions or comments, please? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Biondo?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Adams?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hizzy?
Aye.
The ayes have it. List of bills and budget transfers.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, a second to approve. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Hizzy?
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Adams?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Biondo?
Aye.
The ayes have it. And the payroll report, council.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion, a second to approve. Questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Biondo?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Adams?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hizzy?
Aye.
The ayes have it. And all these items were reviewed at the July 6th agenda-setting meeting. Council, moving over to our vacancies on boards, commissions, and authorities. Mr. Hizzy, we'll start with you. Do you have?
I have none, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Stevenson.
I have none.
Mr. Wolfram.
I have none, sir.
Mr. Adams.
Nothing, Mayor.
Mr. Williams.
Yeah, I'd like to appoint Mr. John Buzzy to Police Civil Service Commission.
That's an appointment. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion, there was all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? Hearing none, that is an appointment. Anything else, Mr. Williams?
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Biondo?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Moving over to our consent agenda, new business 23-4-ST Burger King. Mr. Little.
Applicant is requesting site plan approval to construct a fast food restaurant, Burger King. The property is located at 1737 Golden Mile Highway, tax parcel 1243A117 in the C2 Business Commercial District. Planning Commission recommends approval on this application, and might as well go to number two. Number two is the same thing, but it's a conditional use hearing that we had through the drive-through for the same establishment. Applicant is requesting a conditional use approval to operate a drive-through window for a fast food restaurant pursuant to ordinance 2680 and the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended. The property is located 1737 Golden Mile Highway, same tax parcel in the C2 Business Commercial District. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Make a motion to approve
Second.
23-4ST and 23-4C.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve both items. Any questions or comments, council? And once again, this was discussed at the July 6th meeting. So there is a motion and a second to approve both items. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hizzy.
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram.
Aye.
Mr. Adams.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Biondo.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving over to our motions, we have two for this evening. Mr. Little.
Motion to approve a full-page advertisement for the 2023 Gateway Sports Hall of Fame commemorative program booklet in the amount of $100.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Biondo.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Adams.
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram.
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hizzy.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
So be it.
Okay, motion to approve a half-banner ad in the Shabbat of Monroeville 14th Annual Jewish Community Calendar in the amount of $250.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hizzy.
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram.
Aye.
Mr. Adams.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Biondo.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving over to our resolutions this evening, we have two. Mr. Little, please.
A resolution confirming that the Municipality of Monroeville has formally requested Act 152 funds, has designated an official to perform the required duties between the Municipality of Monroeville and Allegheny County Economic Development, and assures the provision of local matching funds in compliance with all other provisions of Act 152.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Biondo.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Adams.
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram.
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hizzy.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Next item, Mr. Little.
Resolution that the Municipality of Monroeville determines and declares that the indicated structures meet the blighted property definition under Act 152 and will undergo local agency condemnation proceedings.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hizzy.
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram.
Aye.
Mr. Adams.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Biondo.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Council, moving to our ordinances, we have one to consider this evening. Mr. Ratcher, please.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, to adopt a proposed amendment to the Home Rule Charter to delete language that requires a residency requirement for the municipal manager, and authorizing the submission to the Allegheny County Department of Elections for placement on the ballot of November 7, 2023 general election.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any questions or comments, council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Williams.
maybe you could explain to the public the reason for this?
Sure. Well, this is something that we've been talking about for a little bit. It's no secret, Mr. Little is planning on retiring at the start of the new year and has given us plenty of heads up to find a replacement for his position. With all of our municipal employees, whether it's contractual or, well, they're all contractual or through the handbook, there's a residency requirement, or we can make a residency requirement. The only one we can't really change at this point is the manager's position because it is in the Home Rule Charter as such. So if we can put this on the ballot and we can get the residents to vote for it and make that change, what it allows us to do is to cast a larger net for a candidate for the next municipal manager. Future councils can decide to make a residency requirement for that position. They can do it by contract, and that's no problem. But this council really wanted to, at this point, for the timing, with Mr. Little leaving and having plenty of time to search for a manager, having a residency requirement out of the gate really limits the candidates that we can receive. Once again, we've mentioned this before, we may have a good candidate, and he or she maybe in the Pittsburgh area, and he or she may have kids in high school, and maybe they would not want to move here. Maybe they're an easy commute away, maybe they're 15 minutes away, half hour away. So this change would allow us to, once again, cast a larger net for applicants. So we'll talk about it between now and the November election, but this is step one of getting this ordinance advertised and getting it down to the county for consideration. Any other additional comments, council? Everybody agrees with that, right?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. So there is a motion, a second, to approve this item. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hizzy.
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram.
Aye.
Mr. Adams.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Biondo.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving to our reports of municipal staff, Mr. Ratcher.
No report, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Little.
Yeah, National Night Out is Tuesday, August 1st, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Community Park West in Pavilions 2 and 4. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Hugus.
No, sir.
Ms. Rock.
Nothing.
And here's some footage from our previous Monroeville Night Out or National Night Out on last August. It's always a fun event and, really well organized.
Would that be our agenda-setting meeting, the first?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. I think it is, yeah.
I thought they moved that to the second.
I just thought of that just now.
Yeah, definitely
We'll have
would
to
be.
do it Thursday.
Right. Okay, I'm going to open the floor for public comment for any municipal item. Seeing no comments, or hearing no comments, or any comments, we're going to move over to our reports of our council members. Mr. Hizzy.
I just wanted my condolences to the Gatis and Kelly family on Mike's passing. Mike was I know Mike for a very long, long time. It's sad to hear this kind of thing happen anymore. I know it's the devil, but it's getting worse. It's like every day for us anymore. Second, I'm asking my fellow councilmen to take ownership of the 4th of July trailer. Was it Jerry Maynard?
Yes.
Is Jerry Maynard actually made it, did he not?
No, that was made by, Jerry Maynard maintained it for a while, had it in his driveway, but that was actually made by Johnny Mock.
Johnny Mock? Okay,
Years ago.
My problem. Wished council would give the guys from Mr. Little to take that over, and we could put it in the Parks Department. It really can't be used for nothing else. And the reason I'm asking is the Rotary no longer takes care of Independence Day girls, the queens and that, and the committee does now. So I'm asking for you guys to to have the municipality take it over now. Put it in the Parks Department, because it has chairs welded to it, and so we could take care of it.
Joe, is JJ okay with it?
Yes.
He's okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, because he told me 2 months ago or so they were gonna.
We just don't know who has the owner's card again.
Oh, well, no, Jerry gave that to JJ.
JJ does not have it, Mr. Estock does not have it now.
Is that something we have to vote on, or?
No, I think if
I
we
would
just
think so.
agree, we'll be fine. I'm okay with it, everybody else,
I'll hunt the
Okay.
owner's card out because,
they're okay with it. Well, the police aren't going to pull us over, so.
well, yeah, that's true.
Big deal.
Good point.
And one other thing, to all the residents in Monroe, we do not cut grass in other people's lots. I've had a few of my residents and a few from other that I had explained when I ran into them that if your neighbor has grass that's high or it's a vacant lot, we don't have the authority to go on it and cut the grass. Am I right, Mr. Hugus?
No, we do. We have a subcontractor.
Well, no, I mean, not,
The municipality does not do that, no.
yeah,
We have a
correct,
third
that's what I'm
party
trying
that
to,
does.
yeah. That's all I've been, hearing about, the vacant lots and that.
Right.
We just don't do that, That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. And just to follow up on that, so that we just want to clarify all this. So if it's a property, so if it's a home, there's a property maintenance ordinance that we follow. We will send out a third party to mow. There are some lots that are able to go back to nature, depending on property ownership. Is that right, Mr. Hugus?
Well, typically, most of them are next to residential structures. There are houses that were demolished, and there's a lot that's remaining. We will still cut those. A third party will have them cut. And then at the end of the year, whatever lawns are cut from a third party, we'll send official notices to the property owner of record and give them an opportunity to pay it off. If not, then we lien the property.
Exactly.
And it usually spawns about a 75% return on the money. They don't like the lien notice.
Oh,
But it's important for the community. Our code enforcement and code enforcement officers are pretty aggressive with those items, and it's important because it's not good for the community.
We
to-
probably are around 50 lots this year that we've had to send a third party to mow the lawn.
Just lots, not homes as well.
Oh, no, homes and lots.
Homes, both, okay,
Yes.
very good. Mr. Stevenson?
I just want to jump on Joe's back and provide condolences to former councilperson Linda Gatos and the Kelly family for the passing of her father. He was a former Third Ward councilman, which is what I am, so I'm very sympathetic and hope everything's okay. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Mr. Wolfram?
Again, I hate to keep bringing this up, but Linda, my condolences go to the loss of your father. I know how that feels. I just lost my father just roughly a year ago coming up. So condolences to Linda, and that's all I had, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Adams?
Yeah, my sympathy to the Kelly family also.
Mr. Williams?
My condolences to the Mike Kelly family, and to the surprise of my colleagues, no further report tonight.
Mr. Biondo, now's your chance.
I'll make up for that a little bit here. A couple things. Well, first and foremost, condolences to the Kelly family and Linda Gatos and Mike Gatos. Very sorry for your loss. Condolences. The second thing I'd ask, Paul, can you kind of, I know the Parks Department has had a few questions. I've received some as well about what's going on with the pickleball courts, the cracks there. And I would just ask, Paul, can you kind of let us know what's going on there and what the plan is going
Sure.
forward?
So part of the road resurfacing program, we had a separate line item to mill and pave the courts. We're going to probably commence with the decommissioning of the courts in September, because Public Work has to go and remove the fencing, remove the netting to prepare for the milling and paving. Once it's paved, it has to sit for 30 days before you can put the play court surface on. By that time of the year, it's too cold for the play court surface, so it'll be done in May of next year, when the temperature is 50 degrees at a steady rate. So at that point, it'll be, the play court surface will be put on, the fencing and the netting will be put back up. Now, we've looked at some options as a temporary court. One of them is Hawkeye Park. There's a pretty big play court surface that doesn't get used a whole lot. We could temporarily put lines down for play, or for the pickleball. The parking lot's pretty big, there's a pavilion there. I mean, that's one option, to use that as a temporary. Once the lines, or once the courts get paid, we could put tape down to use them, but you're not gonna have the fencing, so you're gonna be chasing the pickleball further than you may like. But it should be done in by the end of May next year. You know, the price tag's gonna be about $325,000 in total for that. So that's the plan at this point.
So I just wanted everybody to know there is a plan going forward. It's not an immediate, not something we can do with the snap of our fingers.
Sorry, Mr.
Go ahead.
Biondo. And Mr. Ratcher, and we will still, not that it's going to hold up or change the progress of what Mr. Hughes described, but we're still going to be seeking some legal action, if we would call it that, against the company,
Yes.
the previous
yeah,
company that
we-
did the work.
We have sued the company. The thing that's important to point out relative to the amount that the new work's gonna cost is the entire contract under the old work was $50,000. So chances are, we're gonna recover somewhere less than $50,000. So we will make some recovery of tax monies that are out there, but compared to what it's gonna cost, the municipality's making a much bigger additional investment. But we are pursuing that. The lawsuit's been filed, and we're talking with the other side right now about the possibility of coming to a settlement, short of spending a lot of money on legal fees and a lot of time just to get to the end of the road and be in the same place.
Understood. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Biondo.
Is that just regular asphalt they're putting down, Paul?
No, it's a
That's
different
why-
style of that. It's a virgin mix asphalt.
Right. All right, thank you.
Correct.
That's
And
what's
just so you could understand, the play court service itself was, as Bob said, was 50,000 in 2019. Just the play court surface, not the fencing and the netting, is 75,000. So it's increased $25,000 from June of 19 to now.
4 years.
yeah, it's a big jump, 50% increase.
Yipper.
Yeah, and the last thing I have is, I had a conversation with Mr. Hugus, Mr. Little, and we called Bob Ratcher at the time as well. This is regarding the leases with, in my case, it was Garden City Swim Club. There's also one with Park Swim Club. They're just a little outdated. Tim suggested I bring it before council. I think we just kind of want to get a consensus of council that it's okay that we move forward and kind of update those leases with regard to how the maintenance is performed, where it's performed at least Garden City Pool. And I will say, on behalf of Garden City Pool, they do work with the community. There are swim classes there this summer. They're offering 2 sessions this year, and actually, those sessions can be found on the summer program, the summer brochure. They also open themselves up for, and yeah, there's the QR code if you guys are looking for that right now. Thank you, Jared. They also open their pool up for the summer camps and Camp Chippewa, the special needs camp. The summer camp goes on Fridays, the special needs camp on Tuesdays. And from what I hear from the Parks Department, it does, that relationship is a positive relationship. I think what Tim wanted, and I guess I'd ask everyone if they'd be okay with us updating the leases.
Sure.
No, I think that's, yeah, it's important to kind of review that periodically and get it updated.
I thought all council should know about it, so everybody's on the same page, there's no surprises, especially with the Garden City Swim Club.
As long as council gets to see them prior to them going into effect, I'm behind that 100%. So.
Yes, yeah.
Sure.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Biondo. And I'll just close, Mr. Poach isn't here this evening, but I, want to thank him for holding down the meeting and holding onto the gavel for last week's meeting. I was with the Monroeville 10U girls softball team, Monroeville Sting. The girls were representing Monroeville out in Bethel Park. We came up a little short, lost eventually to the eventual champion, but the girls did a great job, a good group of girls. They represented the community well, and we're really proud of them. And we have more tournaments later in the summer. But thank you, Mr. Poach, for holding it down. And of course, I'd rather come here than go to a softball game.
Oh, yeah.
That is definitely a lie. But at any rate, we're definitely proud of the girls and look forward to the rest of the season. And with that, and I want to just echo my colleagues here in condolences to the Kelly family. And with that, I want to seek a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you and good night.
Could be a wreck.